Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are plugging directly into what might be the most complex biological system ever discovered. We're talking about the global consciousness of Pandora. And look, this goes way beyond just a cool alien jungle. We're about to decode a planet that is, in every sense of the word, alive.
So let's start with a really big question. To get Pandora, you have to kind of flip a switch in your brain. Stop thinking of it as a place with life, and start thinking of it as one single, massive, living thing, an organism that has a mind of its own.
You see, the Na'vi have a name for this planetary network. They call it the Eywa. And it's pretty much everything. Think of it like a biological supercomputer, but one that connects every single living thing. It's archiving memories, it's regulating the entire ecosystem. Honestly, if you want to understand Pandora, you have to understand the Eywa.
Okay, so if we're going to call this a planetary computer, the first thing we have to do is look at the hardware. I mean, how is a planet-sized brain even built? What are its components?
All right, look at this number. This right here changes everything. We're talking 10 quadrillion. That is the best estimate for the total number of neural connections linking all the plants on Pandora. It's this incredible network, all powered by electrochemical signals zipping through the roots of every single tree on that moon.
Now, to really wrap your head around that, let's compare it to something we know, the human brain. The crazy part is, the connections per unit are pretty similar. But the Eywa, Pandora's network, has about 10 times more primary units. We have neurons, it has trees. And when you do the math, what you end up with is a network that has a total capacity roughly 100 times more powerful than your brain or mine. Just let that sink in.
And what's wild is we actually have something kind of like this right here on Earth. You might have heard of it. It's called the Wood Wide Web. It's this network of fungi that connects trees and lets them share nutrients. But, and this is a huge but, Pandora's version is on a whole other level. It's not just slowly sending nutrients. It's using electrochemical signals. It's operating at the speed of thought. And the data it's sending, it's not food. It's memories, emotions, it's consciousness.
Okay, so we've got this giant biological internet. It's a planet-sized brain. So the next big question has to be, how do you plug in? How do the Na'vi and all the other animals on Pandora actually connect to this thing?
Well, the answer is a concept called Tsaheylu. It literally means the bond. And it's a direct neural link, all made possible by that unique appendage you see on the Na'vi, the Q. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a living USB cable. It's a standardized biological port that's pretty much universal for all of Pandora's more advanced animals.
And what's so brilliant about this system is just how versatile it is. It's like a universal protocol. Within their own species, the Na'vi use it for mating, for creating these deep emotional bonds. But they can also use it to connect with other species, right? They can merge their consciousness with a dire horse or a banshee to ride and hunt. And then, and this is the most critical part, they can connect to the plants, to the network itself. And that's how they prey, how they commune with their entire world.
So, this ability to connect directly to the planetary network, this is where things get really, really interesting. It leads us to one of the most profound concepts in all of Na'vi culture, what they call the spirit world. But is it a real afterlife, like a heaven? Well, if you look at it from a scientific point of view, it's actually something we can understand. It's less of a heaven and more like a massive biological cloud server. See, when a Na'vi dies, their consciousness, everything they are, their memories, their personality, it isn't just gone. It gets uploaded. It's archived right into the Eywa network.
But like any database, this one has rules. The spirits, the consciousness is stored inside, they're basically static backups. They're like a saved file of a person's life, often frozen at the moment of their last connection. And this explains why the spirits inside the network usually don't remember their own deaths. That last traumatic moment, it just never got uploaded to the server.
But there's always a but, isn't there? There are exceptions that kind of throw a wrench in our understanding. The biggest one is Dr. Grace Augustine. Her consciousness got absorbed into the network when she died, but unlike the others, she seems to be aware of things that happened after her death. This suggests that maybe, just maybe, the system can allow some minds to keep learning, to keep evolving, even after they've been uploaded.
Okay, so let's recap. If the planet's root system is the hardware, and the spirit world is all the archived data and software, what's the operating system? What's running this whole show?
That would be Eywa. Eywa isn't just a god or a spirit, it's the collective consciousness of Pandora.
It's the emergent intelligence that's born from all those trillions upon trillions of connections. You can think of Eywa as the planet's self-regulating OS, always working to keep the whole ecosystem in balance. It's a lot like the Gaia hypothesis we have for Earth, but on Pandora, it's not a hypothesis, it's a hard biological fact.
And remember Dr. Augustine's last words? Eywa is real. When she said that, as she was literally becoming part of the network, that wasn't a leap of faith. That was a scientist giving her final report. A biologist, at the exact moment of crossing over, confirming that she could see it all from the inside. The network, the code, the living consciousness of the planet.
And you have to understand, Eywa is not some passive, hands-off god. No way. When the whole ecosystem is under serious threat, it can trigger a planetary-scale immune response. It sends out these high-priority signals through the entire network, mobilizing pretty much every animal on the moon to fight a common enemy.
And that brings us right to the heart of the conflict, doesn't it? When humans showed up on Pandora, it wasn't just an intrusion. The system, Eywa, interpreted it as a virus, a direct existential threat to the life of the entire planet.
Think about what the RDA is doing from the planet's point of view. This isn't just environmental damage. It is a direct assault on its brain. When they mine for unobtainium, they are ripping out the physical hardware, the root networks. And when they hunt the Tulkun, these incredibly intelligent, emotional creatures, for that anti-aging stuff, it's like they're deleting the wisest, most advanced parts of the planet's memory. They are literally hacking the motherboard for profit.
But here's the thing about life. It adapts. And this planetary life forms is no different. It started producing anomalies, like Kiri. She was born from Grace Augustine's avatar, and her connection to Eywa is something else entirely. It's so deep, so intuitive, she doesn't even need to use her Q all the time. She's like a living conduit, able to feel and even channel the planet's will. But that kind of power, that kind of connection, it puts her own body at incredible risk.
So here's where we're left. The system, Pandora itself, has proven it can integrate outsiders. It did with Jake Sully. It's even done so, in a way, with the human boy spider. It can accept those who are willing to respect the network and form that bond, which leaves us with this huge, lingering question for the future of everyone on that moon. Can humanity learn to live with the network, to become a part of it, or will their drive to exploit it cause a final, fatal, system-wide crash?